Another game I'm interested to see how it all turns out, though, is Atomfall. It's one that I've kind of had my eye on more recently. I feel like I've seen lots of positive buzz around the game in the wake of its review coming out. But James, handling the review for our website, you wrote about the game. What did you score it, and how did you arrive at that decision?
I just told Shannon to read it and said, "What's the score?" That's the
literally, and then I picked one.
Yeah, no, I had a score in mind, and I would have thought if it was like dramatically different, but we both landed in the same.
Oh, so Shannon,
realm.
you're playing it as well, were you?
No. He just read my words and just
My
like,
editing skills.
yeah. I mean, I don't know much.
It's
edited.
good to talk.
Anyway, let's talk about the game. So I settled on an 8. I wasn't sure where to go because there was like a bit of a dissonance between like my brain and my heart because I knew mechanically there were some issues, but like overall it was still quite fun. So yeah, I settled on an 8. I think a lot of people are looking at this, including myself. I think we've said this before. It looks like Fallout, but in North England. But it's actually closer. It's kind of in between. I would say it feels a little bit more involved than Fallout in terms of like story and the choices and stuff that you have to make. But then just under Stalker, like it kind of firmly sits in between there.
Right.
And it's like an RPG, but it's not. It actually reminded me a lot of BioShock, the way that it tells its story, just in terms of some bad shit's gone down. There's like a lot of audio logs. I saw Brody's like.
I just saw Brody's eyes
now. Like, yeah, yeah. It's it's not like, to be clear, like it's not anywhere near as like philosophical as BioShock is or anything like that. So if that's your bag, yeah, he's not interested anymore. He's gone. No, but like I just mean in terms of, you know how like you kind of have like free run of Rapture, right? You've got all these different areas you can kind of move between. It's not open world, but it kind of is in a way. Like it's hard to explain. But yeah, it feels like New Vegas, but without having like an RPG system behind it. So there's no like stats to worry about. You pick up a gun, you can use that gun for the rest of the game as long as you can aim, right? Like,
That's my downfall constantly.
Well, that's what I'm like, and that's what I'm saying. That's what a lot of my issues with the game were, but they weren't super big issues for me. As an example, I feel like you can almost get away with too much. Like I would be sent on a quest to go break someone out of prison, but then strike up a deal with that person to not break them out and actually like work with them to do something. And then I would get back, and the person was like knew that I'd done that because obviously I had to shoot my way out of the prison after that point. And they're like, oh, but I'm sure you had like a good reason. And then they gave me the next quest line for them. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't quite get your quests closed off if you piss off people. You can talk your way out of almost anything if you can. If you're smart enough, I guess. But yeah, it's just all over. Like I feel like talking about this game, it's all over the place already. But like it's very good. I really liked it. And there's a lot of different ways to get out of the quarantine zone. Depending on which quest lines you follow. And
is that the kind of central premise of the game? Is like escape the quarantine zone? Okay.
Yeah, so sorry, I probably should start with that. So basically you wake up in a bunker, you don't remember who you are, what you're doing there. You're stuck in this area that was, I think it's the Windfall nuclear. Like it's a real
wind
like,
scale, I think.
Wind scale.
It's based on that disaster, yeah.
Yeah, like a real life disaster that happened. But in this world, that whole area got like cordoned off from the rest of the world for 5 years. And like a scientific team moved in to work on certain stuff. And they've kind of like built upon why that happened, why that disaster happened in this story, which is fictional, obviously. So yeah, you've got to basically get out of the quarantine zone. And there's about 6 to 7 different ways that you can by following different quest lines and stuff. And that includes interacting with, say, you've got like a faction that's very similar to the Brotherhood of Steel. You've got a faction who's kind of rejected the technology and kind of lived in the woods. They're called themselves the Druids. They're like pagans. Yeah. And then you've just got like the Outlaws. Like it is very tropey. But like the way that it all comes together is really cool. Like even though it's a lot of stuff I've seen before, I think the breadth of the decision making makes it interesting. Yeah.
This sounds so up my street in like so many different ways.
It is really odd. It's really hard to explain and hard to categorize. And that's why it is a good Game Pass game. It's on Game Pass, so I think I really do encourage people to give it a shot. it is tough in the while you're trying to find a weapon, because you do get pushed out into this open world with nothing, and enemies travel in packs, so you kind of get fucked up. But as soon as you start getting stuff and just get your first gun or weapon, it does get a little bit better. But
okay, it sounds a little bit more Stalker-like. It sounds a little bit more simmy in nature.
It is it's more. I feel like there's more to it than a Fallout game in terms of the action and the choices and stuff. I should say a modern Fallout game. But there's less to it than Stalker, so that's why I say it kind of fits in between
like
those
a good
two
middle
games
ground.
in terms of complexity and stuff.
Yeah.
But
and how I guess being British myself and having spent a bit of time in the north of England too, how well realized do you think that is? Does it feel very British?
I mean,
or you don't?
I mean,
don't feel equipped to answer that.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to go there, so it's that based on what I've played. So is that
you're
the
never
same
taking a holiday to the Lake District with me then?
No, I don't think so. But yeah, I think so, and it's obviously Rebellion is a team based in the UK, so I think that I trust that it is true to whatever that area is. Yeah. But yeah, I can't really comment on that.
Is there a British humor or sensibility to the characters at all?
It's not funny. I wouldn't say it's funny like you know how Fallout is British tongue in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think they were more inspired by Doctor Who and you know all the kind of British sci-fi kind of side of things, rather than say, I don't know, Monty Python or something. It's not funny like say, I don't know, Fable or even Fallout to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
I think that the one thing I take away from this game, having played it, is I feel like in a lot of games like say Skyrim and Fallout and stuff, you kind of might start doing something and then you go to talk to, let's just say you find a note about somebody, and you go to confront them about it, but the game's quest line doesn't really register you've read that note. Do you know how a lot of games do that? And you can't really confront them then. This game's really good at predicting what you want to do and letting you do it and letting it play out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, cool.
And that's something else
coming up in dialogue. Is it dialogue options, the game? Is it that
there are, yeah. So there's full dialogue options. There's quest logs in terms of you pick up a lot of every note you pick up might have something in there that you can go and investigate, and it will be there. So you might pick up a note about a treasure chest and it might say, we left our shit here, and then you go there and usually it will be there, or there'll be another note sending you somewhere else. There's no quest markers per se or a quest log, just open-ended leads. And organically, you do say end up, if you just start following the one lead you get at the beginning, you naturally end up having 5 to 6 different leads by the time you finish one of them. It feels very organic the way the quests are given to you and the exploration and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really do recommend it. I think it's very different. I think these are the kinds of games that probably need a little bit more attention, just because they're doing something, even though it's greater than the sum of its parts, right? It's stuff we've all seen before, on a micro level, but on a macro level, it doesn't really feel like anything else. That's
and
why
if
I
I'm
said,
not mistaken, it's going to be on Game Pass as well, right?
Yes, yeah, I did on Xbox and PC, I think.
Yeah.
I think both. Yeah. So definitely worth your time. It's kind of nuts to think this came from the same team who did Sniper Elite and Zombie Army Trilogy. It is a huge step up for them. And I think they nailed it, honestly.
Keen to give it a go. Brody, I know you initially, your ears perked up with the Bioshock mention. Did James lose you, or are you still interested in giving this a blast?
No, I'm still interested. I guess my main concerns might be around the combat. I zoned out, so I didn't really speak about combat too much. So
I didn't speak about combat
because obviously
much.
Fallout, I always felt falls into that real janky sort of area where they literally have things like VATs, so you don't actually have to engage with enemies because it is that jank. How does the combat feel in this?
Just before you answer, I also found the kind of hit detection of Stalker really quite frustrating, and I don't know if that was it was just deliberately quite dark in some places, so I just felt like I was firing blindly in the darkness. But I think those simmy natures kind of held back my enjoyment of the game a little bit.
I'm hoping this would hit more arcade areas like Sniper Elite to be a bit more.
It is a shooter. You line up a headshot, and you can line up the headshot if you're good enough, and it's a headshot, right? Like it just works. It's not like 500 damage, and then you don't kill them. Do you know what I mean? Like it is a shooter, and that's like what I say is its biggest strength and weakness in different ways is the fact that it isn't an RPG. So yeah, like it's not janky. The hit detection's perfect. This, like I said before, this is from the Sniper Elite guys. Like they kind of know what they're doing in terms of aiming a gun and shooting. So yeah, it's not simmy by any means. Like it is. It feels like I would probably equate it to like a Far Cry or something in terms of aiming and firing, and yeah, like it feels good. I guess the only caveat there is your bullets are limited. It's not like Far Cry in that way. Like you do have to really, if you see a group of people, you really have to weigh up if you're going to shoot at them or just like kind of sneak past them. Especially because there is an area underground that you probably will need a lot more ammo for. So if you're heading there, it's all these kinds of things you have to think about all the time. And that's the survival aspect of it. It's not like survival in a sense that you have to worry about like, I don't know, blood, like hunger and all that kind of shit. It's survival in the sense that what it used to be, right? But to answer your question, Brody, like it is, you have melee weapons, you can throw them. Like some weapons do better at throwing than others, especially bladed weapons. Or you have guns. Like it's a very straightforward. There's no powers like or anything like that. Yeah.
And how approachable is open world? Because I'm still playing a bit of Assassin's Creed Shadows at the moment, and just like the bigger that world gets, the more daunted by it I'm getting, admittedly. Is this a bit more reined in, or?
Yeah, it is. It's small. Yeah. Like, yeah, it takes me less than I reckon less than 5 minutes to walk from one area to the other, and that's and there's 4 areas.
Nice.
So it feels like I don't know 100%, but it does feel like the same size as Rapture when BioShock gives you that opportunity to go in different directions. Yeah. Have you played a Sniper Elite? It's probably about as big as.
I haven't, no.
Okay. I was going to say the levels in this feel like the same size. It's just a connected world. So yeah,
cool.
Definitely
that
give it a
like
shot.
Tick in my book as well.
Yeah.
Shannon, what about yourself? You gonna play some Adam Paul? Doing anything?
I don't know if it's Shannon's game.
Yeah, like Fallout and BioShock are games that I love, but I have a feeling that
well, it doesn't point you in a distinct direction and tell you exactly what to do. So I think you would.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been struggling with that with Assassin's Creed too. I know we joked about it last week.
You can turn it off.
Yeah, but then I saw that, but then it's like you might not get some trophies, and I just
it's
don't
one.
Like
no,
not that I'm gonna
it's
plan
one
game,
trophy. It's only one trophy. You don't have to worry.
Okay.
Anyway,
I just spent like so long trying to find someone that was gonna sell me like the particular attire I needed. I'm like, where is this damn merchant?
I'll try it. Is it a game that like you do just get straight into, or is it like a 5 hour?
Yeah, it is. Like somebody has a chat with you. They give you. You can either kill them or help them.
Too much.
No, they haven't. They haven't. You're being a dickhead. Just listen. So I'm even trying to talk to you, and you can't even listen. It's literally, it's like less than 3 minutes or something.
This conversation's been going for 25 minutes. He's clearly not listening. If he,
no, you're out in the open world in less than 5 minutes, and you can go and do whatever you want.
All right, I'll time it.
Just chuck it on one of your 10 portable PCs and give it a shot. Like,
I've got a PS5 code, so I will. Into it.
Very dynamic.
Very good.